All right, John, Sunday, 1 o'clock at Northwest Stadium. The Dallas Cowboys coming to town to take on the Washington Commanders. And
let me say this. Might I interject?
you please do. It's your show.
If there was ever a must-win game, this is it. I mean, yes, seriously, you will have lost 3 in a row, and you will have lost to a hapless Dallas football team. That actually is going to unspool all the positive parts of this season that this team has put together. And you're coming off of 2 losses. Now, granted, you played 2 of the better teams in the NFL. Finally, and when I say finally, I don't know. I mean, if you look at their record, is there anybody prior to, and they got beat by Tampa in the first game of the season, but that was kind of could have gone either way, basically. I mean, I'm just saying that Tampa's got nothing going on. I mean, I think they're like 500 record.
Yeah, but their division isn't much, and Tampa's right there in the thick of things. Right. And Tampa's upsets. But to your point, they're a middling team that smacked the Commanders around in the first game.
Right, and so you just write that off as the first game. They weren't correct. But then all of a sudden, they started playing some decent football, and, their quarterback's playing very high level. And then you get to this point where you actually run into, and you come this close to losing to a poor team in Chicago, which all of a sudden you have to kind of start reevaluating. You remember all the stuff, the glowing encomiums that were coming in about the Super Bowl and all that stuff. I don't want to be that guy, but it's kind of like, well, if you don't beat Dallas, I mean, to me, all this great stuff you've done up into this kind of gets washed away with the waves coming in the sand, right?
Completely.
I would have to say. I mean, I would think that the fans will be completely, flattened if something happens. But having said that, you can always pull yourself together. But a lot of times it doesn't go that way. Once you start you start going the other way, negativity creeps in, and then all of a sudden it's hard to overcome.
Yeah.
It's it's Lady Luck kind of in a weird sort of way. She'll stay a while and then she's gone. It's kind of like that song that Merle Haggard sang years ago. But my feelings are that, and not only beat Dallas, but beat Dallas in a convincing way. You don't want it to go down to a flea flicker at the end of the game, which is better than losing, obviously, but you have to come out and play these guys tough and show people that you're for real. I think that's right now. You'd have to say, based on, you tell me the other teams they've played that are decent teams. They're really
they beat who they should have beaten.
Correct.
And to your point on momentum and the arc of the season and how it's been going, now people are kind of going, now people are going, we did play some good teams and we're not getting it done, and you start to see some glaring weaknesses. And let's face it, that Chicago game was a fluke, okay? It's going to show up 2 or 3 years as a win, and everybody's, the great Hail Mary that's already in the Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame, because it was a fluke, okay? Mm-hmm. You would have lost 3 of 5 games if not for that fluke win.
Right.
And Dallas is terrible. Dallas played Monday night. Dak's done for the season. There's all kind of chaos and turmoil. They're terrible, and they have yet to win a game at home. So they're feeling bad. They got no preparation time for this game on Sunday. I'll let you speak to that. Meanwhile, the Commanders played a week ago Thursday. They've got the extra time here to be fresh. So there are 0 excuses for the Commanders coming in. They're a double-digit favorite in this game. It's one of the biggest numbers.
Well, in that, and that's why if you got Vegas telling you that, that's why an upset would be just unfathomable, if you ask me. But I don't see it happening, honestly. I think, they are a much improved team. How good they are against the better teams in the league, you kind of go with what you've seen with Pittsburgh. And the Philadelphia game, I mean, they were pretty much manhandled in the Philadelphia game, was my feeling.
For sure in the second half, and Philadelphia was not clicking. They missed a bunch of field goals in the first half. Right. And second half, by then, you saw the difference in the two teams and the talent level.
At this point in the season.
100%. And, they played tough against Pittsburgh. But I think you're starting to see some holes. The multi-million-dollar question is Jayden Daniels. And he was hurt October 20th with the ribs. It's the weirdest thing because, remember, they wouldn't tell us anything about the injury.
And
now they're saying, Dan Quinn is adamant that he's not hurt. Well, I'll tell you what, the way he was throwing the football, the way he was still grimacing at times and on the sidelines, and they put on another protective, and even the national announcer saying, yeah, they're putting another flak wraparound on him. Now they're saying, oh, well, they're doing that to keep him warm. Listen, our eyes are not saying it, right? You just seen him too many times lifting up and grimacing like this, and he was short-arming balls. He was wide. It was
the same quarterback.
No, So
well, that's something you got to keep your eye on. But I guess Mariota's there waiting to come in if something at the bottom.
And
falls
so that's why this is important. They take control of this game, get a big lead, potentially rest Jayden, let Mariota come in for some cleanup duty. Listen, same thing against Tennessee the following week.
Yeah.
These are two dreg teams that they were playing in the league, and if you're good for it, you have to take care of business.
Yeah, well, that's the way I see it. And I think what your plan there is to get a couple, 3 touchdowns up on Dallas, and then you get him out of there, because if he is, he's your future, right? I mean, ribs are a very painful type of injury. Now, they can be injected, I think, without, it's not like a knee where you potentially could do some serious damage, or what they call a hip pointer, where you got a bruised hip bone. That you can inject, because that too is something when you turn. But I would think for a quarterback, ribs, when you got you're twisting your torso like that and trying to throw a ball, whoa, I would think that. And based on what you're saying, I'm guessing there might be there's something going on there with because he's not so far up until the Philadelphia game. When he threw the ball, it was going where he wanted to.
No question.
And no question.
There was some grimacing and some things on the sidelines that you saw, and the extra wraps and precautions. But they're denying all of this. They're actually saying, no, he's not even injured. And so, anyways, all right, then let's see. He got the extra rest, and they got to take care of business.
Yeah. Well, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be able to.